Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Asterix Solution. This video we are going to understand how to make a simple Android application which will do the addition part for me. So starting off, first step, you need to start your Android Studio. Android Studio is a very heavy software. It is recommended to have a 4 GB of RAM minimum in your machine before you start working on this. So you can go in File, do a new and start a new project. So I'll just give you a walkthrough of how you can go for this project. Let's say my addition app. I am naming it as my addition app. Now you can develop this application for your own firm. So it will be like asterixsolution.com, which is the URL of my domain. And where you want to keep the project location is up to you. You can keep the project. I'll recommend to keep it in D drive so that in case if someday I decide to change it, Android apps. Okay, and I select it there. Okay. If you want your application to have Kotlin or C++ support, please check on this checkbox and do next. So here phone and tablet part define which operating system of Android you want to support at minimum. So this is the minimum version it will support. You can select any as per your requirement. Wear OS is for Android watches. If you want to make an application for Android TV, you have to select TV. Auto is for cars, and Android things is for support for IoT. So once you do next, now remember in Android application there are two parts. You have to make an activity and that activity is being coded in your XML. So this part I am making an activity and I'm going to make an empty activity here, and the name of my activity is going to be main activity and its layout name is going to be activity underscore main. Now if you want to get that activity is the any page you see on your Android application. Activity is all the forms you see in an Android application. So when you make that activity, you get a .java file and you get an XML file. Java file you write the code and the XML file you write the layout. So I'll say finish here and let it start my application. It will take some time. So you can see now it has started. It start a new screen for each and every application. You can select Android from here. It's loading yet. You can see in the lower end part that the process is running. Let it get synced properly. Okay, it will take some time to get loaded. It's almost done now. It's a heavy software, as I said you earlier, that it takes some time. Meanwhile, it load there. I'll show you what the application hold. So you have got res folder. Now your resource basically have drawable folder, map folder, layout folder, and values folder. And you have got your Java. So inside your Java, you have got com.asterixsolution.myapp and main activity.java. So this is your Java file, which is being will take care of that activity. And your layout is in your res and inside your layout. Drawable is the folder where you keep all the images. Mipmap is where you keep the launcher icon. For example, the green icon for WhatsApp or blue icon for Facebook. As per your screen size, you can decide which mipmap should be shown there. And values contain your string.xml, colors.xml file. Now moving on to my layout. If you come inside this layout, you can see that this is the screen where I can start working, and this is how I make my layout. And left contain all my, it's basically a palette. So I've got option of either writing the code in text, or I can write the option in my, or I can do the drag drop stuff. Now if you go by drag drop, let's say let I want to make an addition application, so I need to accept two number, write a button and display the final output in the last number. So first thing first, let me zoom in bit for you. This screen is your layout screen, whereas this screen is your blueprint. So I'm going to use the same stuff. Let me first delete this. So I'm deleting. Now if you want to accept a text, you will have to select on text. Here text are of two type. One is a display text and another is where you take the input. The way you take the input, we call it as your edit text, and the way we display it on the component, that component is called as a text view. Now based on your requirement, there are a lot of different types given of edit text here. I'll take a simple number type here, and as this is a constrained layout, you have to constrain this with your whole screen. So if I click here, I'll have to do what? To pick up a mouse, take it down, and then on the bottom, on the left, sorry, on the right and on the left, and now I can start moving it as per my requirement. So I'm keeping the first text area here. On the right hand side, I'm going to name it as et num1. So this will be my first edit text. I'll have to take one more. So I keep it here, and I again do the constraint part. So I map it according to the upper icon, then I take to the end of the screen, left, sorry, right, and my left constraint. Sometimes become tedious to work, and up. So I have taken my, just increase the size a bit. So I've got the second text box now, and I'll name it as ET. I'll name it as ET num2. So I've got second text box now. I'll now, basing on common, I'll take a button here because button is very much important. So I've got a button now, and on button I'm going to write the text of my button as add, and I will name this as, I'll keep name it as btn add. Okay, so I've got my button, and I'll have to take a text view. So once I take a text view is the place where I'm actually going to display my text. You can also do the editing part here. You've got a lot of options here. You can see all the attributes if you want to change the text or size of the text, font size, font family. Let me search size, text size. Okay, I want to set the text size to be, let's say, 30. So I'll be able to see what I'm trying to search, and then let me search for only text. So I'm going to move this, and I'll write answer colon. I'll write it blank for now, so that later on when when I get the answer, I'll just override it. So my view is ready. So step one is that my view is ready. Now let's go back to activity Java file and declare all the variables here, so that I'll have access for all the variables when I need to. So I have got edit text et num1 comma et num2 semicolon. Now as edit text is not available with you directly, you can go at the end of the line and press controls, and you get the option here. You can go at the end of the line here, press alt enter. I was pressing the wrong alt sign. So I've got to edit text. I've got a button btn add semicolon, and if I press alt enter now, it will get imported. And again I have got text view tv answer semicolon, and I press alt enter. Okay, I forgot to rename this here, so I'm going to name it as tv answer, and I go back in my main activity. Okay, now in my on create method, which is the first method invoke after setting the view, I'm going to load and get the values fetch for all my parameters, all my widgets here. So et num1 is equal to et edit text find view by id, find view by id r dot id dot et num1. So r is the file which contains all the details about the widgets we have been keeping. Same, I'll go for et num2 is equal to edit text find view by id r dot id dot et num2 btn add is equal to button find view by id r dot id dot button add, and I've got tv answer is equal to text view find view by id r dot id dot tv answer semicolon. Now, so my view is created, my view is linked in my Java file. Now it's time to put the action now. So btn add dot add on click listener, or set on click listener, set on click listener new on click listener, and you'll get all the code written here. This is a anonymous implementation here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the value from my first number and second number. Is basically my first text field and second text field. So let's say int num1 is equal to et num1 dot get text. Sorry, I have to put it in integer dot parse int. I have to get the value from there. So et num1 dot get text dot toString. Why toString? Because get text returns an format of editable which cannot be converted to number. So num2 is equal to integer dot parse int et num2 dot get text dot toString. semicolon, and now I have to add both of them. So int add is equal to num1 plus num2 semicolon, and tv answer dot set text double quotes answer colon plus add, and this is how you make a activity. Later on you have to just click on the emulator icon. I have set it up Nexus 5x. You can just set up your emulator and try to run this. So once it started, it will take some time. See, it's the emulator have started to load now. It will initialize. So the process is still running. It is trying to load the emulator screen on this. Once the process here completes, the application will be launched. You can also check what's happening in the logcat. You can keep on looking here. It takes time when you start the emulator for very first time. Yep. So my Gradle is built. Okay, I messed up I guess here. Still, let me check if my logic is working right. I write 23, I say enter, I say 32, and I say add. Okay, I guess I have messed up in the view part. Let me check that again. So if I go in my activity underscore XML, I never did the constraint part here. So let me do that. I'll relate it here. And now I'll keep it here. Same I'll do for my text view. I should have better gone for the relative layout, but stuff happened. This is the basic by default layout. And now here you have got deploy the changes. So I'm doing that. Let it deploy and see the progress bar here. Okay, so this is visible. Okay, only one small change, and I deploy this again. I say add, and the answer goes now 55. This is how you make your first addition application in Android. Thank you for watching this video. Do subscribe.